A very good morning to you all, captains, and welcome back to the flight deck. This is Captain Simwings, and today marks an incredibly exciting new milestone in our virtual career series because I have officially signed up to fly for our national carrier, that is South African Airways. I must say, it feels great to be firmly focused on flying local routes again under such an iconic banner. Now, while SAA primarily operates the Airbus A320 for their domestic legs these days, we are stepping into the cockpit of a Boeing 737 today. So, South African Airways frequently brings in extra leased tail capacity during high demand peak seasons. So flying this bird keeps us right in line with the realistic seasonal operations. We are sitting completely cold and dark at the gate here in Johannesburg, getting ready to bring the aircraft to life. Before we power her up, let's look at the stats for our inaugural SAA flight. So today's flight stats: the route takes us from OR Tambo International Airport, which is in Johannesburg, and we will be heading south to the coast towards or at Chief David Stearman International Airport, which used to be the airport in Port Elizabeth, or well known as the Port Elizabeth Airport, and now is called Gqeberha. And the aircraft that we will be utilizing for today is the PMDG 737-800, which will be sporting this beautiful South African Airways livery. With regards to the distance covered, we will be covering approximately 425 nautical miles. Now, with regards to the simulation and the career stack, we will be utilizing a Pilot's Life Chapter 2, which helps us manage our career progression, tracks our flights, and also does the scoring for us. So at the end of each and every flight, we do have a look at the scoring sheet, and we just review how well we performed on this specific flight. And then again, we will be utilizing Beyond ATC to help us manage our self-load, our air traffic control, and we then will be using self-loading cargo to manage the cabin and passengers for us. And lastly, with GSX managing all our ground operations and logistics. Now, as a disclaimer, this video focuses on pacing and entertainment, meaning certain routine procedures or parts of the cruise will be streamlined in order to keep the video moving forward. I will also be utilizing the Beyond ATC AI assistant to manage the radio frequencies during busy phases, so I can focus entirely on hand flying the aircraft and navigating our way towards the Eastern Cape. Alright, captains, almost done with the admin. My last function will just be powering up my self-loading cargo, just so that we can get our passengers on board as well. So we will be using the cabin crew only option. Let's just reposition our icon. Right, I'm just waiting for it to power up. Perfect, and there we go. So our self-loading cargo is ready, and that marks the end of our admin procedures. So without further ado, captains, let's hop on inside the cockpit and start getting ready. So we will start with our overhead panel. Let's have a look. We don't have any ground power, so let's start with our tablet and request for the ground power to be connected. Lovely, that's our ground power connected, so we can go back to our overhead panel and turn on our batteries. And let's just ensure, right, our cabin utilities and IFE screens are on, and then we can turn on our emergency lights and turn on the strobe lights, the positioning lights, to the steady position. And then with regards to the logo, anti-collision and so forth, we don't need them on for now. And because we do have the ground power connected, we can also turn on the ground power. Perfect. And then our window heats can also come on with our probes set to be turned on after pushback. And then we can turn our IRSs as well to the nav position. There we go, we've got 7 minutes until alignment, so I am happy with that. I just want to have a look at my doors quickly. Okay, all my doors are closed. Perfect. All right. Geez, this generator is fairly loud. There we go. Right, let's turn off the master caution and let's just turn on our panel brightness as well. There we go. Because we are flying in the afternoon, so, or in the early morning, the sun's going to be nice and bright, so we just need to see everything correctly. There we go. Alright, I'm happy with that, captains. Let's head over to our flight tablet and then let's just have a look at our flight for today. So we're going to just request our flight plan from Simbrief. Perfect. And then we'll just have a look at our charts for now. So we'll go to our departing airports chart and just pin that to the pin board, and we'll do the same for the arrival airport. Perfect. And then under our pinned charts, we can just look at our departing airport and then just note a couple of frequencies that are very useful to us. So we have ATIS on 126.2. So I'm just going to note that down on my side, 126.2, and that's on my spreadsheet. And then we do have OR Tambo clearance on 121.7. So I'm just noting that as well. Perfect. And then for our arrival airport, we can also just note the ATIS, which was 126.8. And we will be listening in on this frequency when we are closer to our arrival airport. Perfect. Let's flip back to our departing airports chart and then let's just look at the ATIS 126.2, and then I'm just going to tune into our ATIS frequency here, which is 126.2, and have a listen to the conditions that we can expect for today. Alright, let's have a listen.
Runway 03 left, advise on initial contact, you have information, India. Johannesburg Airport information, India 0541 Zulu. Landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information, India. Johannesburg Airport information, India 0541 Zulu. Landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information, India. Johannesburg Air.
Alright captains, that ATIS seems to be very incomplete. I just want to run beyond ATC again and have a listen and see if it won't give us a much fuller reading.
Runway 03 left, advise on initial contact, you have information, India. Johannesburg Airport information, India 0541 Zulu. Landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left, advise on initial contact, you have information, India.
Alright, that's it. Let me also just pull up my GSX here and check something. Alright, that's fine. I'm just trying to quieten down this generator sound from the outside. Let's switch. Alright, no, let's carry on, captains. Alright, I am going to tune into our clearance. Hopefully the clearance will give us much clearer ATIS instructions, but I can also just request for the ATIS right here, and let's have a look. So we have winds coming in from 350 at 13 knots, so I'm just going to note that 13 knots. Alright, scattered. Alright, temperatures of 9 degrees. Perfect. QNH 1029. Alright, temporary. Okay, broken. Alright, okay. Alright, no, I'm covered. Let's tune into our clearance frequency 1 to 1.7 and then just request for clearance for today's flight. So 1 to 1.7. Our Tambo clearance, good morning. This is Springbok 401 with information India, requesting clearance to Chief David Stearman International Airport.
Springbok 401, Johannesburg delivery, cleared to board Elizabeth Airport, runway 03 left. After departure radar vector, Salvola, climb to flight level 120.5221.
Cleared to Chief David Stearman International Airport, expect runway 03 left. After departure, radar vectors to Ovala, climb to flight level 120, squawk 5221, Springbok 401.
Springbok 401 with the correct. Contact ground 122.65 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 122.65. Alright captains, that was our readback. I'm just refining my notes over here. Almost there. There we go. So we have an initial climb of 12,000 feet, runway center line, then expect radar vectors to Ovala, as we don't have a set that has been assigned to us. Okay, and then our squawk is 5221. Perfect. All right, maybe we can turn up our volume here. There we go. All right, let's also just load our ground frequency 12265. Perfect. And then we can just keep it there, and then let's insert our squawk for today, 5221. Perfect, and then we can keep it on TA only. Wonderful. Alright, call in our flight tablet and let's set up for today's flight. So we'll go to our FMC. Our AirReg is up to date. As you can see, it's from June 11 to July 09, so we are still good. And then let's go to our position initialization. We are departing FAOR. I'm just going to do this so we have a look at our flight plan. And then we can go to our next page, copy our left alignment, come back and insert it there. Wonderful. And then while we are at it, let's just have a look at the minor details on our flight plan. So we are departing OR Tambo International and we are heading to Chief David Stearman. Our cost index for today is 80. Average winds from 277 degrees at 99 knots. Okay. Our average wind component is minus 0.26, so we do have a bit of a headwind ahead of us. And then our takeoff weight for today is at 65.5 tons, and the zero fuel weight is at 56.4 tons. The planned for cruise altitude is 34,000 feet, and with regards to the fuel, we will be carrying a block fuel of 9.2 tons with a fin resin alternate of 4.3 tons. All right, and then this is our flight routing. So our Vala, and then Alcat will be our last transition waypoint, and then we make our way to the planned arrival on runway 08. But we should be expecting radar vectors anyway because we don't have a star. And then our passenger count today, 128 passengers on board with a cargo of 3.2 and a payload of 14.2. Perfect. So we are South African Airways 401 or Springbok 401. That's our call sign for today. I'm just going to turn this. Perfect. We'll turn the radio down for now. Wonderful. And then let's go to our routing. We are departing FAOR. And then we are just going to request the flight plan because we are running a simulation, so we want this to just move as fast as possible so that we can save some time on the video. Perfect. So we can select the route. There we go. Our route uplink is ready. We can load that. And then we can hit activate and execute. Wonderful. We can go to the next page. So as we can see, we are going to have our first transition waypoint being Ovala, then via Uniform Zulu 18 we go to Neven, perfect, and then Uniform Quebec 8, we go to Alcat, direct PEV, and then direct FAPE. So I'm just going to remove this PEV waypoint, and I'm going to keep it like that. Wonderful. Let's go to departures and arrivals. So for our departure, they did say expect 03 left. Can hit execute, and then we will get our radar vectors to Ovala. And then for the arrival, we are planning to arrive at ILS 08. So we can select that and hit execute. So when we have a look at our legs page, do this and then increase the range. You see we will be taking off 03, making a turn to Ovala, then flying from Ovala, stepping through it, heading south, and then get to Alcat. And then once we do get to Alcat, we do see that we have a discontinuity here, and it should be, so the discontinuity is intentional, because then we will be making our way to 08. All right, so I'll remove that by doing this and then hit execute. Perfect. And then through the radar vectors, of course, we will just probably swing this way and then make our turn that way for the landing and alignment, or our initially with the alignment for our initial fix and then alignment to the final fix. So we are good with our flight plan. Perfect. Alright, captains, I'm happy with that. Let's return back to our route page and we'll pause at the performance initialization. Wonderful. So while we are here, captains, I'm then going to request that GSX start with the refueling of the aircraft, replenishment of the catering services, and then boarding our passengers. And then we will just pick up where we left off in terms of prepping the aircraft, starting up the APU, and then making our way out of here. Right, so let's pull up our GSX and call for the refueling. Alright, captains, and that's our passengers boarding, so we can just get back to setting up the remaining elements of the flight. What I'm going to attempt to do again, because we are running a simulation, is just request the performance information, and then we'll just have a double check of it before fully taking it. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, let's load it and execute. Alright, let's just double check everything. So, as per the flight plan, our zero fuel weight is supposed to be 56.4. What we have is 56.5. Perfect. So zero fuel weight 56.5. The block fuel is 9.2. Perfect. And then the FINRES plus alt is 4.3. Cost index is 80. That's correct. Cruising altitude 340. Perfect. And then the transition altitude is 8,000. That's correct. Takeoff weight 65.5. We have 65.7. Wonderful. Let's run our calculations. So we've been given 03 left, which is going to give us a nice and short taxi. Perfect. So we have a D-rated takeoff to takeoff 2. Wonderful. And a selected temperature of 21. There you go. And then our N1 should be, what's this, 93.6. we have 94.7, which is okay. Takeoff, next page, 35013. Slope minus 0.4. Wonderful. And it's dry conditions. And then on the next page we have a flaps 5 takeoff and a CG of 24.5. Perfect. V speeds 42, 42, 45. Wonderful alignment there. And then you can go to our legs page, route data, and then just request. Great, and then we can load in our wings. Hit execute. Wonderful, can clear that. Go to the descent page, forecast, and then load in our wings as well. Perfect. And then let's go to our N1 page again. Take off. Right, we have V2 at 145. And then we have the runway heading 03 left, so it will give us 030. Initial climb is going to be 12,000 feet. Flight directors can come on, and we will use VNav and the heading select. Wonderful. And then from there we are going to be doing 34,000 feet. Let me just double check that. We have 34,000 feet. Lovely. And we are prepped. Just wait for the remaining passengers to get on board. Let's have a look. Let's see how many passengers we still have to wait for. On board 125, we have 128 coming, so that's good. I'm happy we're almost done with the passengers. Lovely. Remove this for now. Select our engines over there, systems below. Wonderful.
Just up there on your right hand side.
Great. Right, our boarding is complete. As we got that indication that all the passengers are on board, so I am happy with that. With all the passengers on board, we can turn on our seatbelt signs, and then we can also set up our our trim for today is 5.26. and that should be enough. There we go. And then we can go to our flight tablet, ground operations, and then just the door management. Close all doors. There we go. Perfect. All doors are closed. And then we can just turn on our anti-collision light. There we go. And then let's check the fuel. We do have fuel in the center, but for now we'll turn on the forward fuel pump because we want to start up the APU. So we will hit start or turn it on first, and then when you see the low pressure indication, we will then turn it on and head outside to listen to our APU startup. Perfect.
Link 182 at ramp 1, request pushback.
Link 182, OR Tambo apron, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northwest, link 182.
Alright, captains, that's our APU started up. So we can turn on the APU generators. Lovely. Turn off the ground power, turn on the APU bleed, and then turn on the PEX so that we have some air conditioning running through the aircraft. And then eventually we can get rid of this ground power unit, so we will just release it. There we go. And it's gone. Wonderful. So let's turn on all our fuel pumps. Great. and we should be ready to head out of here, so we can just request GSX to prepare for pushback and engine start. Alright, and that's our aircraft prepped for pushback and departure, Captain. So I am going to be expecting a nose right pushback as we are going to 03 left, so we can just call in for pushback and departure through ground. Our Tambo ground, good morning, this is Springbok 401 requesting pushback and engine start.
Springbok 401, OR Tambo apron, pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Pushback and engine start approved, face east. Springbok 401. Right, we've been given east. East is towards 90 degrees, so it is a nose right pushback. So wonderful. We can then start our clocks, run our elapsed timer, and then release the parking brakes, Captain, and watch the pushback.
Right taxi via Echo Kilo Lima, hold short of runway 03 left.
Kilo Lima, hold short of runway 03 left, link 182.
Alright, Captains, that's our pushback. Let's just set our parking brakes and start up our engines. So we will be starting with engine number 2. So what we can then do is turn off the PEX on our right hand side and then flick our start switch on for engine number 2. Once the N2 goes above 20, we then introduce the fuel. Perfect, introducing fuel, and let's monitor for a good engine start and engine stabilization. Alright, our engines are stabilized, Captains. Let's turn on the PEX on this side and then shut off the PEX on my left, and then we will start the engine as well. Let's introduce the fuel. Alright captains, that's a good engine start, so let's just confirm that through GSX.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can
And then because our engine generators are now available, we will select those and turn off the APU. Turn off the APU bleed. Make sure all our packs are flowing. There we go. And then we do have a flaps 5 departure, so we can just select flaps 5. And that's our flaps 5 selected captains. All good. Auto throttle can come on, and then we can also turn on the yaw damper as well as the probe heats. Can select track 1, generator 1. Perfect, everything is fine. Right, and we are getting our signature wave indicating that the ground crew has cleared the aircraft. Auto brakes can be turned to RTO, thank you. And then autopilot, co-pilot, continue to request taxi to the actor.
Springbok 401, taxi for departure.
Our lights, runway channels can come on as well as the taxi.
Bravo, runway 03 left, via Bravo.
Taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03 left, via Bravo, Springbok 401.
Right, let's release the brakes and then let's make our way. So not more than 40% fuel or throttle, and then yeah, let's make our way to the runway. Cabin is good, everything else is fine. All right.
Contact Tower 118.1, Springbok 401, good day.
Right captains, let's hold right here and just turn on our lights. turn on our taxi lights, our landing lights, and then our strobe lights can also come on. Seatbelt signs are on. Perfect. Co-pilot, continue to request departure.
Springbok 401, holding short, runway 03 left.
Springbok 401, Tambo Tower, flight heading 040, runway 03 left, cleared for takeoff.
Flight heading 040, runway 03 left, clear for takeoff. Springbok 401.
Alright, we've been given heading 040. I've set that up, and then we have been cleared for takeoff as well. Make our turn. Perfect alignment. Let's just run our final checks. So TARA has been selected. Weather and turbulence has been turned on. Weather on my side, terrain on the co-pilot side. Just increase the range a bit. Perfect. Flaps are green. We have flaps 5 selected. V2 has been set up. Heading has been set up. Initial climb set up. VNAV selected. Heading selected. Auto throttle has been turned on. Landing lights are on. Runway lights, turn off lights are on. Taxi light is on. Engine selectors continuous. Strobe light is on. Anti-collision light is on. Hex are on auto. Engine bleeds are on. Perfect. Right, we are good to go. And then let's just check my traffic indicator. Perfect, I've got my traffic turned on. Wonderful. Alright, captains, let's make our way out of here. Engines 50% stable. Nose down pressure.
Airspeed's live.
Nose neutral. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Springbok 401, contact Johannesburg radar 123.7.
Contact Johannesburg radar 123.7. Springbok 401. Johannesburg radar, Springbok 401. Good morning. Passing 7,200 feet, climbing to flight level.
I'm gonna do some
120.
manual flying here.
Springbok 401, Johannesburg radar. Good morning. Identified. Climb flight level 170.
Climb flight level 170. Springbok 401.
170.
Turn right heading 170.
Turn right heading 170.
And
Springbok
right to
401.
170. Suspended pressure. Let's turn right to 170. Still manually flying. Speeds building nicely. Flaps 1 selected. Flaps up. Watching for 10,000. Alright, captains, we are close to our 25 nautical mile marker for the approach to our landing or destination airport. So we will just be listening out for the vectors and we will be making our way as required. So temperatures are above the minimum, so we can just turn our NTIs off. Perfect. We are approaching 10,000, so we are just gonna have to turn our, let's just do this, there we go. We are just gonna have to turn off turn on the landing lights, but the aircraft is slowing down, so we can also deploy some speed brake as well. So we're going to 240.
Springbok 401. Contact Chief Delaware Sturman approach 120.4.
Contact Chief Delaware Sturman approach 120.4. Springbok 401. Chief Delaware Sturman, Springbok 401. Flight level 108 with information Delta.
Springbok 401, Chief David Sturman approach. Good day. QNH 1024, expect radar vectors for ILS approach runway 08.
QNH 1024, expect radar
Alright, QNH 1024, expect the QNH.
Springbok 401.
Springbok 401, descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1024.
Descend to 4,000 feet.
4,000.
1024. Springbok 401.
Let's just have a look at our approach over here. Okay, 25 nautical miles out. We are below, almost below 250 now, and then we can just deploy flaps 1. Right, speed intervention. Let's go for it. Flaps up speed. Flaps 1. Below 10,000, landing lights can come on.
Chief David Sturman, Zulu Sierra Tango Golf Papa, good day, passing 1,600 feet, climbing to 6,000 feet.
Beautiful views.
Zulu Sierra Tango Golf Papa, Chief David Sturman departure identified. Climb flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, Zulu Sierra Tango Golf Papa.
Zulu Sierra Tango Golf Papa, resume all navigation.
Roger, resume all navigation, Zulu Sierra Tango Golf Papa.
At 15 nautical miles, we need to be at 180. This is just in line with the scoring criteria of a pilot's life chapter 2, so yeah, we just need to watch out for that, but all is well so far. Beautiful views over here of the coastline, very nice. Got some cloud there. but we are good on our descent profile as well. We don't want to be flying too low too quickly, so we are still good. Co-pilot can see terrain, we are still good as well. Not a lot of mountains. Right, let's decrease our speed.
Heading 240, Springbok 401.
Beautiful, beautiful views. And there's our airport down here. Let's just have a look. We are still good. Can do flaps 5 speed. So let's do 170 and just go on some more flaps. We are going to be making pretty tight turns in order to align with the ILS. Our initial fix is sitting at 10 nautical miles out, so we should have our gear deployed at 10 nautical miles out and doing approximately 160 over there. We'll just keep managing it correctly. Approaching 4,000. Waiting for further directions from ATC. But ideally we should have been routed this way and then made our turn that way. So we'll just see. Let's drop to 3,000.
Springbok 401, descend to 3,000 feet.
Descend to 3,000 feet.
Alright.
Springbok 401.
Okay. $3,000 coming up. Let's deploy our gear.
Springbok 401, turn right, heading 250.
Turn right,
250.
250. Springbok 401.
Full flaps engaged. $160 should be perfectly fine. Just do 155 here, because it's going to be a tight turn. Descending to 3,000. Let's arm our speed brake. Auto brake is on. Full flaps engaged. Taxi light can come on as well. Just waiting for further vectors. We are below the profile now, so we are all good.
Springbok 401, descend to 2,000 feet.
Descend to 2,000 feet.
2,000.
Springbok 401.
Springbok 401, 2 miles from side 08, turn left, heading 135, maintain 2,000 feet until established. Clear dial as approach runway 08.
Turn left, heading 135. 2,000 feet until established. Cleared ILS approach, runway 08. Springbok 401.
There we go. So we can just hit our approach button anyway, because we are picking up the ILS. As you can see with our DME, we are 13 nautical miles out. There we go, got a purple diamond aligning ourselves, and then co-pilot, we can report established.
Springbok 401, established 08.
Springbok 401, roger.
There we go. Catching up on the profile. There's the runway. 10 nautical miles out. And we are on our glide path. Perfect. Cabin secured for landing. Cabin crew are seated. Perfect. Got our purple diamond on both the horizontal and vertical axis, so we are good.
2500.
There we go. 5 nautical miles coming up. Approach 143. Approach speed.
Springbok 401. Contact Chief David Starman Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, Springbok 401. Chief Delwood Stermont Tower, Springbok 401, ILS approach runway 08.
Springbok 401, Chief David Starman Tower, wind 030 degrees 6 knots, runway 08 cleared to land.
Runway 08 cleared to land, Springbok 401.
At 5 nautical miles out, we can select 143. But the missed approach at above 2010, right? Climb to 4000. Okay.
1000.
Missed approach is 4000. Right, captains, let's put this bird down. Aircraft is in my hands. Maintain center.
300.
Correct alignment with the aim point. Perfect, we are on center. I'm coming to a high. Perfect, perfect, okay.
100.
Full reverses. Manual braking. Below 80. Reverses can be
Springbok
tapped.
401, exit left next available taxiway.
Exit left next available taxiway, Springbok 401.
And we can exit left, right. This is the runway. We'll swing around. Auto brake can come off.
All aircraft be advised, information echo now current QNH 1023.
And let's make our exit.
401, contact ground 122.65.
Ground 122.65, Springbok 401.
Alright captains, and that's our parking into stand 10 Alpha at Chief David Stearman. So we've got our APUs on. Let's flip to the APU gens, turn on the APU bleed, and then we can just cut our engines. There we go. Okay, N2 has reduced enough. Let's sort out the ground operations so we can set our chocks. Perfect. There we go. Our anti-collision light can come off. Seatbelt signs can come off as well. And we can request for deboarding, captains. Wonderful stuff. While the aircraft is being deboarded, let's stop our clocks. 1 hour 45 minutes. Perfect. Let us then call up our A Pilots Live Chapter 2 and just have a look at how we did. So we can go to our logbook. Awesome. So we managed to score 100% again on this flight. Wonderful. With a landing rate of 171 feet per minute and a landing G-force of 1.15. Very nice. I did feel slightly misaligned on my approach, but anyway, we made it within the touchdown markers. Perfect. And then we were slightly left on the landing, but other than that we did well. Managed to taxi our way correctly, and that was our approach and our arrival into Gqeberha. Wonderful, in the Eastern Cape. Very nice. We got a view of the coast. Again, landing rate 171 feet per minute, and then our G-force is 1.15. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let's close that. Let's have a look at our SLC as well. Overall, we got an excellent rating for the flight, 100% recommending from the passengers, and then in terms of the piloting, we got 92%. So we did very well on this flight. Very happy about it. Very, very, very nice. Can close that up. Well, captains, that then brings us to the end of today's flight. If you did like this video, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon, so that you can be notified of new uploads that are made on my channel. But other than that, captains, just wanted to take the time to thank each and every single viewer. You know, I don't know how to express it enough, but every single split second that is put into watching these videos really does go a very, very, very long way, captain. So I really do appreciate the support. To the viewers who keep coming back and recommending others to watch, I appreciate that so much. To my friend Andy, who keeps motivating me and keeps reminding me and keeps telling me to come back and fly and never misses a stream, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. To my wife, who always backs me up and is always supporting me in this hobby of mine, I really appreciate it so much. And again, to all my viewers, thank you so much for just coming back. Captains, I do look forward to seeing you on the next flight as we are continuing our journey under South African Airways, flying the 737. So I do look forward to flying it the next time. As you know, I am a Boeing fan, but yeah, we'll take it as it comes. So in the meantime, let's just continue sharing our love for the aviation field, whether it's on the different platforms, plane spotting, flying on the flight sim, or actually just flying in real life. Let's just continue spreading the love and joy that we find in this hobby. Well, captains, until next time, we'll meet again. Goodbye.